Imagine someone saying they hate watching kids. They hate it. It's boring and they just do it because it makes them some money. They'd become a crack hoe if they could. Whatever pays the bills. Now imagine hiring that person to run a preschool. That's basically more or less what the Angels did 6 years ago when they signed Anthony Rendon. Bro said, what? He hates baseball? Sick. Here's $245 million to play it for us. Obviously, it's not all that simple. But we're at a point now that feels very overdue. And so is you subscribing if you haven't joined the 49% Elite Humans. So consider hitting that button if you like the videos. Obviously don't if you don't like the videos. I've never subscribed to someone I don't like. I feel like that's not how it works, but I don't know. What do I... Anyway, I remember when Anthony Rendon was a free agent after the 2019 season. It was him and Steven Strasburg becoming free agents fresh off the Nationals championship. I guess it didn't have to be, but it became clear early on that the Nats were going to have to choose one to sign. In hindsight, my God, imagine they did sign both. Holy crap. But yeah, they were going to have to just choose one to keep. And so they chose the World Series MVP, who got the same exact contract that Rendon did. 7 years, $245 million. Strasburg stays in Washington, D.C., and his contract ended up being its own disaster. Again, the man got guaranteed $245 million. 245 milli. He threw 31 innings and then retired. His situation, unlike Rendon's, who we're about to dive into, is just more sad because it's not like Strasburg lost the care or will to play or anything. He just legitimately couldn't. He got nerve damage so bad it just screwed him over. Like, it actually sucks. Obviously, I know, yeah, okay, he got his money, he's rich as hell, got it. But I'm sure it killed him a little bit to have things just end like that. The Nats also screwed up by not adding a disability insurance on the contract that would have gotten his money off the books once he was too hurt to play. But in the moment, they thought it was too much money to add on to the 245, so they said screw it and just took the risk.
Good job.
Just a crappy situation, but I don't think you're going to find any Nats fans who have any sort of animosity towards Strasburg. And the same ironically goes for Rendon. I mean, how much can you really hate a thief if he didn't steal from you? Now add the fact that you won a trophy with said thief. Nats fans must feel like they were given a Rolls Royce by some dude who soon after robbed someone else of their entire fortune. Like, oh no, that's so bad, but like, you know, thanks for helping us. So Rendon actually early on, years before becoming a fallen angel, talked about how boring he thought baseball was. This is all the way back in 2014, his second season in the league. He just missed out on being named an all-star, and he might have deserved it, and they asked him about it, and bro could not care less. He was like me missing out on the A honor roll at school. Oh, I got another C? Sick, that means I passed. Let me go home now. Rendon said, I don't watch baseball. It's too long and boring. He doesn't talk about baseball when he visits his family during his time off, and he was looking forward to 4 days of rest from baseball. Now, I'm sure most baseball players don't constantly watch baseball. I get that. Just like I'm sure most players of any sport don't constantly watch their sport. When you literally live in the sport, it probably won't be your first option when you flip on the TV. Sure. But it's the way Rendon made baseball sound like it was some boring desk job you couldn't wait to get a break from that was weird. And it's also weird that someone who talks about baseball that way can be so damn good at it. Rendon went on to be one of the best hitters and overall players in baseball for the next half decade. My God, how do you do that? Like, that actually makes it even more impressive with how much he apparently hated baseball to be that good. At the time, though, like, say 2019, which was his career season, his last year before he got the contract, he was damn good. He finished third in the MVP voting, played a pivotal part in a championship for his team. You just assumed, okay, maybe he was exaggerating back in 2014. No way he finds baseball that grueling. He does actually like it, obviously. Like, you can't be that good and hate it. So signing him for $250 million has got to be a good move for a team, right?
Yo, shout out the season, man.
I think Rendon's Angels career was cursed the moment, like before it even started. During his press conference, the microphone audio was so damn loud and distorted, that had to be some type of warning from God. I mean...
With that, we're very proud to introduce Anthony Rendon, the newest member of the Los Angeles Angels.
Looking at the roster and the date of births and the years where they were born, and I feel like I'm going to be one of the older guys now, and so many, I guess, with the Nationals.
2020 ended up being the only season Anthony Rendon got up for it in an Angels uniform. First, there was the pandemic, meaning he was forced to be at home and nowhere near a baseball field for months. Awesome. Then when baseball came back, it was only a 60-game season. Rendon was like, hell yeah, sign me the hell up. I mean, no wonder his best season was 2020. Are you kidding? And looking back, this may have been the reason for his fall off, for the way his Angels career went. If 2020 never happened, like the pandemic, and the idea of a 60-game season was never introduced to Rendon, he may have stayed elite and played almost like every game every year. But now, after a season with that little games, he was like, to hell with 162. I don't know about y'all, but I'm only playing 60-game seasons from now on. So that's exactly what he did. This man never played any more than 58 games in a season again. He played 52 games in the pandemic year, 2020, 58 in 2021, and that was the most it ever got for the rest of history. 2022 was probably his best year. Not because he was good, it was just a couple of notable things. He decided to dick around for an at-bat during a blowout game, batted left-handed and hit a home run. Then he had to get wrist surgery a month later for God knows why his wrist got hurt. Proceeded to run out onto the field with his cast on during a benches clearing brawl with the Mariners and full on hit Jesse Winker in the face. This guy is not a real person. Who wrote this character? Someone glitched into the servers. What is happening? Bro just did not care. So he slaps Winker in the face with his left hand. I guess he really prefers it, because he also used it to attempt to slap an Oakland fan in 2023. Apparently he heard the guy heckling him all night. So on the way out after the game, he grabbed the dude by his shirt, questioned him, and then tried to slap him. But just like any other day in an Angel uniform, he swung and missed. Bro only played 43 games that year and was done after fouling a ball off his foot in San Diego. On July 4th, mind you. The most baseball day ever. It's America's holiday and there's a baseball game. Screw this, I'm out. Well, Shohei Ohtani then leaves after the season. He signs with the Dodgers. Rendon probably didn't even realize that happened. He probably didn't even know who Shohei was or that he was ever his teammate. But he did go on some podcast, the Jack Vita show, and when asked if he had the power to change one thing in baseball, Rendon said,
we got to shorten the season, man. It's too many dang games. 162 games and 185, 3 days, whatever it is. Man, no. We got to shorten this bad boy up. Let's go.
So he says that, shows up to spring training a month later, tells the media that baseball has never been a top priority for him, that it's just a job, something he does to make a living, and he threw in the whole, my faith and family come first, which yeah, no shit. I think every player ever would say that. The issue with him is he's making it sound like he's working at the damn DMV, that he just didn't care at all, which is the biggest slap in the face to so many people. To the team that committed so much money to you, your teammates who are supposed to look up to you, you're supposed to, play for and with, and most importantly, the fans. What? It really was disturbing how checked out he got. It was really bizarre. Again, you gotta wonder how he was able to be so good for so long. How is this dude with his mentality able to even make it to the big leagues, let alone be good enough to get the contract he got? It's wild. You can only take your talent so far. There's a lot of work that has to be put in to be really good at any sport, let alone freaking baseball. So how is he able to, I guess he just had the work ethic back then, but I don't know how he was able to do anything if he really was that checked out of baseball. But anyway, 2024 ended up being Rendon's F y'all, I'm out of here tour. I mean, he says the shorten the season thing. He says he doesn't care, then proceeded to play a shortened season of his own, and that was it. He didn't play a single game in 2025. And, well, it's finally happening. Even with just 1 year left to go on Rendon's contract, the team can't wait any longer. They're going to buy out his final season, which basically means they're finding a way to end his contract early. They still have to pay him what he was due to get, $36 million. But they're getting that money off of team payroll. So, or at least most of it. I don't know exactly how it works, but it's something where it's going to help them. So they can have more to work with without a lot of that money clogging it up. And they can use it to spend on other players. God, a lot of these baseball contracts are so stupid. They really are. The long-term ones. Only so many actually end up worth it. But yeah, the nightmare is over, and Rendon is also unsurprisingly expected to retire, even though it's weird because, you kind of have to of course, participate in a job to begin with to retire from. Imagine not going into work for over a year after you've already missed most work days for 5 years before that, and then said, all right, hey everyone, I'm retiring. Yeah, any other job, you'd be in an insane asylum talking nonsense, imagining everything. Only in baseball can you do that. You know, honestly, I don't doubt that Rendon is a cool dude. Like, part of me genuinely believes if I hung around him and got to actually know him, I'd like him. Most of the time when I've heard him talk, he kind of seems cool. It's just obvious he completely fell out of any love he ever had for baseball with the Angels. It absolutely screwed the team in the process. But shit, until a time machine is created, it is what it is now. You can't go back. All you can do now is look at it and say, this is what's best for both sides. The Angels can move on from Rendon, and Rendon can move on from baseball. Just be at home with his family.
I see this as an absolute win.
The only time that can ever be said for Anthony Rendon's time with the Angels. So that's about it for now. Love you. Bye.